I pissed so many people off.
I did not know how to manage money. I had a really bad experience. I almost got into a fight, which is really off for me. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, first of all, we're joined with my fashion school bestie, Lara.
Hey.
Her name is Lara Christina on YouTube and also in real life. I don't know why I said that. Today is a really exciting video. We are in my living room. I wanted this to be more of a cozy feel, but I feel like because it's my first time filming in my living room, I'm still trying to like figure out the angles because right now we have a really like fuzzy blanket, but like it's just not showing. Like I just want it to be more like ambiance-y. That's not a word.
Ambiance. I thought you were saying like Beyonce.
I mean, that could be a word. Me and Lara went to the store and we got coconut water, but it's in a Starbucks cup. We got actual Starbucks, a chai tea latte.
With soy milk. So we got pop chips. I had to keep Maryam in check.
Macro-friendly.
Yes. So pop chips that are popped, not fried, and then popcorn. Popcorn's my favorite snack.
So as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be discussing basically our learnings from university, like things we wish we knew. Not so much so the academic stuff, more of like the juicy stuff, like, you know, friendships, like budgeting. It's gonna be more of like a sit down talk video with you guys. So before we get into the video, also make sure to check out Lara's channel. It will be in the description box down below. And
That's like dishwasher. Sounds like someone's burping.
we are in my living room, so my kitchen's right here, so that was a dishwasher. If you guys don't already have any form of snack, grab a snack, tea, or coffee, and let's get straight into the video. The first thing we want to talk about is to do with toxic friendships.
I'm getting anxiety.
Maybe
Yeah,
toxic is a big word. I kind of want to talk about things we wish we knew, if we have any regrets.
That don't serve you in the long run, I think.
Yeah.
Navigating friendships in university at a time when everyone is just trying to be friends. Potentially you're in a new country.
Yeah, I mean, like going to uni is like this whole new experience, and I feel like we sort of are still in that high school mindset when we just get into uni of like, oh, friends, popularity, and like, you know, just wanting to be at all those parties, or like if you're in London, always wanting to be at those clubs. If you come to mind, what's the first one that comes to your mind?
The popular ones. Everyone loved Ministry of Sounds. Was it Tuesdays? Student Tuesdays? Which, how inconvenient. That's literally saying skip school. Like on Wednesday, no one would go to school, and if they went, they were hungover. Then there was also
Tape, I feel like.
well, Tape is like a bougie club. I liked Tape. I loved Tape. Everyone always wanted to be at Tape. And bougie clubs, those were mainly on the weekend. But on Tape Tuesdays, there were like celebrities like Drake, Travis Scott. Obviously, moving to a new country, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get me a famous beau.
Weird flex, but I actually saw Travis Scott. On a school night.
So yeah, see, exactly, that's literally what we're talking about. Mainly student clubs when you're broke, and we'll talk about money later. But yeah, Egg, have you been to Egg?
Oh yeah, it was so bad. I had a really bad experience. I almost got into a fight, which is really off for me.
That's so off-brand.
Yeah, because someone did something that was worth.
Maybe we'll get into that later.
Maybe that's actually a video for a whole other day. Maybe that'll be a whole different story time. Later on in this video, we will talk about a really fun story of Lara and I at the club. Stay tuned until the end of this video. Anyway, so back to the whole friendship thing. I feel like one thing I'll say is that like it's so hard to say no to things in your first year. Like learning how to say no is a boundary issue, and I feel like it's always ourselves, like us, who are like, I mean when I say us, I mean like you yourself as an individual who violate your own boundary. And when you're like first at uni, you don't want to say no to anything. You just want to say yes to everything, like all of the club nights, the lunches, like dinners, brunches, like everything. And like money, you're so new to managing money in the beginning that it's like,
oh, I know where to take this with the whole friendships and money thing. Yeah. I have my own personal story. So we went to Marangoni. A lot of you, I'm sure, have found Maryam from her amazing Marangoni videos, and it was definitely an experience. But the thing about Marangoni is it's a private university, and that's amazing because you get a lot of one-to-one attention, but also you get a lot, not a lot, but a little bit of like the traditional things that come with going to a school where a lot of people are wealthy. So like Balenciaga shoes drop, somebody likes them. First of all, before they even drop, there's already 2 or 3 people
personal shoppers.
Yeah. And then other people have it, and with that comes cultural differences. I am very, very fortunate that I got to go to Marangoni and that my family prioritized my education and sent me to study here, but we are not wealthy. Like I don't buy luxury items. I bought my first bag as a gift to myself, and it was an affordable luxury bag, the Stella McCartney.
Stella's luxury, honey.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was an affordable luxury bag. It's like a 600-pound bag.
I don't like it when Lara downplays anything. Like, yes, you bought yourself a luxury bag.
I'm putting things into perspective for people that like we were hanging out with people that were like quite wealthy and who didn't have to worry about anything. And so I bought this bag in year 3, just to put it into perspective. So in years 1 and 2, year 1 was my second year in London, but we had met and made new friends. We actually met doing and stuff like that.
Side story. We're going off on a tangent. Lara and I became friends at Maryam. It was her second year and my first year because she did a foundation course. And then our year 1 fashion business, we were in the same class and we became friends because we realized that we somehow found out that you also like lifting and I love lifting, and we're like, we're training next week.
I remember exactly how it happened.
Yeah, we were in computing class.
Yeah.
Computer in Doug's class.
We have a pretty good memory. Maybe it's a cancer thing.
Maybe.
But so we became friends and we were hanging out with this larger group, and Maryam was always like super down to earth. However, my problems with the group is that I worked with a recruitment agency. So basically I was like temporary staff, so I didn't have a fixed counter. I was like a luxury beauty sales advisor. So I would sometimes be at Selfridges, Harvey Nichols. It was really fun for me and it was exciting to be able to have my first serious job, be working at like brands like Fenty, Chanel and stuff like that. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't a job that I liked going to, like I was super excited to go to. And I can disclose my old salary. I was making 75 pounds at the end of the day, which when you're in uni and you're a student, that feels like a lot.
It's like, a lot. It's a lot today for me. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, but the cost today, you wouldn't stand there for 8 hours.
No.
So to me, like these friendships that we had always expected me to like literally
be always available. Like,
yeah, and literally cancel my shift. I was told because I missed someone's birthday that I should have canceled my shift to go, and that's because they don't understand, because they have everything. And I'm all about, like, honestly, if you have wealthy parents, that's totally fine.
You gotta
they
like that.
struggled for you, so you're fine to enjoy that, but understand that other people don't. And it was a really do you curse on your channel?
I'll bleep it.
It was a really up situation when it was this girl's birthday and I went out of my way to coordinate for everyone to buy her this makeup palette that first of all I wanted for myself. I coordinated for all of us to buy her this makeup palette, and I wrote her what I thought was a really sweet note. I still don't know what she thought about it because she never responded to it, and I gave it to her. They actually eventually got so pissy with me because I wasn't available that they made a separate group chat to the group chat that I originally created, and they excluded me from it. I only found out about that later, so I wasn't super hurt. So that's just a lesson on boundaries. I really struggled with saying no to going to a lot of things, and this started happening to me in year 3. Oh, I pissed so many people off. And that's the thing about boundaries that Maryam was saying. Sometimes I didn't even know that this was a boundary, saying I don't want to go and stuff like that. And you also don't realize that people will push your boundaries. That's just a part of having boundaries. You have to learn how to actually enforce them. And I was struggling so much.
Honestly guys, we're not shading anyone, but we're just giving our own example of what happened. It's just a great learning experience. The whole boundary thing, you could get excluded from a group because you're not always available.
Yeah, I know that that's a possibility, but that will just attract the friends that are actually worth it into your life. Maryam and I were in the same group and we didn't drift apart.
Now we want to talk about money and budgeting. I'm so grateful for my parents for being so patient with me, because in my first year I did not know how to manage money. You're so new to having a debit card, and you're having friends wanting to hang out all the time, and you're also excited you're in a new place. It's so easy to get carried away, and I feel I really did with going out, with shopping, with all that stuff. But all I'm gonna say is that try and be more strategic and aware of your purchases. Actually look for cheaper alternatives. If you're living in a city like London, it could literally be shopping at a different grocery store. I used to buy pre-made meals because I thought it was cheaper, but actually
no.
I know.
Please tell me you a microwave kind.
Yeah, I used to buy microwavable meals for a whole month in the beginning because I thought it was cheaper. No one told me.
What about health, girl?
Oh no, they were the healthy counts on it by M&S. 3 meals for 10 pounds. In my head was that's amazing, but that is so expensive.
We're gonna talk later.
Later on I found out, but guys, I was buying 3 meals. That's literally 1 day and a half because lunch, dinner, lunch, 10 pounds. That's crazy.
That's not cheap at all.
Yeah.
If you eat at home and you're smart with your grocery shopping, it shouldn't cost you more than like £4 a day.
Yeah, like now my groceries are like 40 pounds, 45 pounds, and it goes for like a week, sometimes 10 days if I'm eating out a lot. But like 10 pounds.
Oh, you guys need to see Maryam's fridge. I was in shock.
That was the first thing you came.
Just in general, her food, like, but that's good. You don't let a lot of food spoil.
My issue is that I don't like throwing food away, so I'll buy really less food, and like I'll be like, okay, until I finish this, I won't buy more.
I think that although we're giving advice on budgeting and stuff, it's important to.
Sorry guys, I just had a laughing moment.
Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Obviously, it will actually take you some time to figure out what Maryam is still happening.
Oh my god, I don't know why. Guys, she's doing her breathing.
This light is making things really hot.
Right? These lights are hot. I'm
Anyways.
just gonna smile. That'll make the laughter go away.
Take 2. We're giving you advice on like saving money and stuff like that.
I'm the worst.
We're giving you advice on budgeting and stuff like that. However, you will need to go through a period of spending money on things that aren't really that worth it to you to figure out what actually is.
Could you give an example?
I think it's really relevant that Maryam said that her parents were super patient in the beginning. So for example, figuring out what grocery store to shop at, realizing that Waitrose is a bougie.
Even though we just got these from Waitrose.
Well, we work now.
True.
But when you're at uni, and also you're gonna have to experiment with what clothing brands do you like, what stores do you like. I think some of the biggest unnecessary money wasters are saying yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. This is something that a problem that I never had, and I am judging you if you do this, which is like not returning things that you don't like when you can return it just because you can't be bothered. You're wasting money. If you try something on and it's not a heck yes, resend it. And also by not shopping around, it's really easy to feel, to me when I first moved to London, it was really easy to feel like oh, London is just so expensive, and to feel like there was no other option except to pay. However, no, there are people of all income brackets in London. There will always be an alternative. Today I had to get a fit to fly test for my trip back to Portugal, and the tests nearby were all showing at like 50 pounds, and I just took the tube for 2 stops and I was able to get one for 25.
Yeah, I feel like for me the biggest money waster is like online shopping. The convenience. I mean, just scrolling through like, I don't know, Misguided and PLT in class when you're bored, like.
Yeah, we used to, this is such bad advice, but
this
we
is
used
fashion
to
school
like
101. This is what they would do.
Yeah, in fashion school you have the people that are really, really dedicated, and then you have the people that are dedicated but sometimes online shop in class or window shop under the guise of we're getting to know the collection. And then you even have the people who watch Netflix and put an AirPod in one ear, and they're just like, it's a mixed bag. The problem with online shopping is when you start to understand why you shop and that every purchase is emotional, psychology driven, you'll find that with online shopping it's easier to do more because you don't get the instant reward. So you only really get the reward when the item arrives. So for example, you start shopping on Wednesday, there is a little bit of a high when you put in your card details, but it doesn't last very long until you receive it. Maybe like 4 days from then, there's a lot more damage that you can do. You could just buy a lot more things in between. And that even happened to me with Black Friday coming here, except the difference is now I really know I was strategic because I knew what I needed and stuff like that. I was ordering so many things, and in the waiting period you kind of start to forget what you bought. You're not getting that reward.
Let's actually circle back to the whole clubbing thing. We actually have a really fun story that once happened at a student club where there are lots of people, and I mean, we were comfortable, we were in sneakers, but like
I didn't want to be there.
There was drink spillage. Like when I got home, I was sticky. I had to shower at 3 a.m.
That's the thing about student clubs. Go to one and then you'll see for yourself. The behavior that's accepted there is just unheard of. Like when you go to a certain different caliber of club, you, like if you behave a specific way, they remove you. But there it's like
anything goes.
Anything goes. Story time. So we were at the Ministry of Sound. We're just going in, you know, of age. Well, you can't even enter a club here if you're not of age. They scan your ID. And we're literally chilling. We have had the most boring like night before. We're like stone sober, and Maryam was actually in front of me in the queue. And this lady, like, first of all, the lady that was working there just was not having a good night.
The lady who checks your bags.
So Maryam's in front of me, and then the lady that checks your bags right after the ID is checking Maryam's bag. So I just see Maryam like shimmy over like hello or whatever, and then the lady checks her
By
bag.
the way, guys, side note, when I'm like going to the club, I'm very like vibing, like chill, but maybe she mistook that for something else.
Bruh, I just know that honestly, I don't want to give spoilers. I'll explain at the end. She's checking Maryam's bag, and I'm just there at the back waiting to get in, and she's like, you go to that room.
To me.
Go to that room. And then I'm like, what? But I'm thinking like, okay, surely there's nothing wrong. And she checks my bag and she's like, you can go in. And I'm like, what, alone? Like with my other friend, like, are we just gonna leave her? Where are you taking her? Basically, they sent Maryam to the drunk people room. And honestly, if Maryam looked drunk, that would have been the most boring drunk person I have ever seen in my life. And Maryam just gets sent to the drunk room, and we're trying to reason with the lady.
Mind you guys, I don't drink. Like, we weren't drinking.
We were just like hanging out, literally going there for the music, right?
Yeah, and there's basically this room before in like student clubs where they send like students or like visitors when they think that they're too drunk to enter the club, and that's where I was sent. And Lara was like, where are they taking her?
I was like, where are they taking her? And we were like, well, we're going to the drunk room too then. Like,
she's a real one.
And when we got there, you guys, it was literally like madness. Like there were actual drunk people there. We stayed there for, I believe, an hour and a half to 2 hours. I just wanted to leave. Our friend that was with us still really wanted to come. She was like, I did not do my makeup for this.
Fair.
And Maryam was still kind of like,
What's going on?
yeah, just trying to figure out, are we gonna stay, are we gonna go? I think I was probably the more impatient one, but eventually I just gave up, and we actually took a really cute selfie. I still have it, I'll send it to you.
If we have it, I'll put it.
We were sitting on one of the like hospital-esque beds.
Also guys, where they put me in their room was right next to a girl who was visibly drunk, and she had this bowl in front of her. That's the bowl they give you when they think you're gonna like throw up, and I was just like, she's gonna throw up, and I'm sat like right next to her. She threw up, and then I was like, sir, if you don't let me leave, I will throw up, because she was like throwing up, and I'm like,
and the entire room was smelling like puke, and the longer we were there, the worse it was getting, because it was getting later, right? So people had more time for pre-drinks. So the people that were coming into the room were drunker and drunker and drunker. It was just so horrible. Eventually we did get into the club, but I was just like, at that point,
what a night.
I feel like we were personally targeted that day.
Plot twist.
Like we had no reason to be there, and any reasonable person who looked at us versus the people that were there, that's like someone that commits petty theft getting put into jail with like the worst type of murderer and like serial killer.
Yeah, it's so funny guys, because we literally didn't do anything. They just like pointed at me and
and they actually pointed to the most innocent one in the group. I would think that if they were gonna do something, it would be to me or my other friend, just because we were like more outgoing and more like, but no, they literally got Maryam. I was like, what are you doing?
Maybe because I was so like chill and like, you know, that they were like, something's very like sus, like why is she so chill?
And it's the fact that they don't even want to listen to you.
No, but that's our story, guys. Alright guys, so that concludes the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. It's actually the very first one on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Click the red button down below. It's 100% free. Also, make sure to check out Lara's channel. She makes videos about
wellness, personal growth, and yeah, just wellness and personal growth, really.
Alright guys, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
You're gone.